Quick review before solving multi-step equations. First of all, with integers, multiplying them, one negative gives you negative, two negatives cancel. And it works with multiplying and dividing. Two negative signs cancel each other. The negative signs, not the numbers, but the signs. If we're just adding and subtracting, and they are the same sign, then you simply add the numbers up. So negative 3 and negative 4 is 7 negatives, negative 7. If they're different, subtract them. 7 negatives and 2 positives makes negative 5. 7 take away 2 is 5, and there's more negative. And the steps, first check the distributive property. That's the outside times each one inside. Next, combine like terms if there's any to combine, such as like put x's together or constants together. Then we come to a two-step problem. Now you want to get rid of the constant by making it into a 0, by either adding or subtracting. And the last step is to get rid of the coefficient if you need to. And you want to make that into a 1 by either multiplying or dividing. Okay, we have a equation. There's a left side and a right side. Get the variable by itself. First step, get rid of the constant. The constant is 2. You want to make that into a 0. So subtract 2. But do the same to the other side. Bring the rest down. Negative 75 and negative 2. They're the same, so I'll add them up. They're both negative. Next, get rid of the coefficient. Make that into a 1. See that? This will make it into a 1. Divide by the same number. Leaves you with x. 7 goes into 77. And two negatives, when multiplying or dividing, they cancel. You can check this by plugging it in there. 11 goes in here. That would be 77. 2 minus 77 is negative 75. It works. Okay, we have a left side and a right side. First step, get rid of the constant, make it a 0. That makes that a 0. But you have to do it to both sides. Bring the rest down. Now that's a negative x there. 15 minus 6. All right, there's a number missing. There's a coefficient in front of the x. And it is a 1. So this is actually negative 1x. You want to make the negative 1 into a positive 1. To do that, divide by the same number. That's just 1. And it's an x left over. On the right side, 1 goes into 9. And there's 1 negative. To check, plug it in there. I'll do that real fast. If I put negative 9 in there, that's minus negative, that's a big plus. That's plus 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. Okay, we have a left and a right side. I notice we have distributive. Do that first. Outside times each number inside. This is a positive 4, plus 4. 2 times 2. 2 times 4. And they're both positive. Next step. Get rid of the constant. That's 8. make it into a 0. Do the same to the other side, though. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. That's 0. That's gone. Bring the rest down. -4, -8, -8. Same signs, add them up. 8 and 4. They're the same signs, you add them up. Make that into a 1. That makes this into a 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. It leaves you with just x. But you have to do the same to the other side. 4 goes into 12, 3, but there's one negative. Okay, let's see, we have a left and a right side. I see I've distributed first. The outside times each one inside. Now, there's no number there. That's the invisible 1. So that's -1x. 3 times 3. 3 times 1. But there's one negative. Bring the rest down. I notice I have like terms, so I'll put those together. We have a 9, and we have a 1, plus 1. 9 and 1, that's 10. Then I have a -3x. Next step, to eliminate the constant, you want to make it into a 0. That makes it to a 0. But you have to do it to the other side also. You know, subtract 10, subtract 10. Bring the rest down. (31 minus 10). Okay, get rid of the coefficient, make it a 1. To make it a 1, divide by the same number. But you have to do it to the other side also. Leaves us with x. 3 goes into 21, and there's one negative. To check this, all you have to do is take -7 and put it in here, right? Substitute it for the x and see if it works. I'll skip that part for you. Well, wait, let's check. If I put -7 in there, -1 and -7 makes +7. +7 and 3 makes 10. 10 and 3 makes 30. 30 and 1 makes 31. It equals the right side. The left side equals the right side. We are correct. Okay, you have a left and right side. I see I have distributive property. Do not subtract first. Do distributive property. That's -4 times all the numbers inside. That's a 1x. And this is a -3 or -3. So 4 times 1 is 4x, but there's one negative. So it's -4x. 4 times 3, and there are two negatives. So they cancel. It's a big plus. Okay, bring the rest down. Now we have like terms. Put those together. I have this constant of 7 and this constant of +12. 7 plus 12. That's 19. bring the rest down, minus 4x. Okay, two-step problem. Next step, get rid of the constant. To make the constant 0, but you have to do it to the other side also. That's 0. (23 minus 19). Okay, if you can't tell your answer, you need to get rid of the coefficient. You need to make it into a 1. I'll divide it by the same number, and that will be just 1x, or x. But I have to do the other side too. If I divide by -4, divide by -4. 4 goes into 4 once, and there's 1 negative. The answer is -1. Plug it in to check it out to see if your answer is correct.